Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. I'm Nicole with the Bushel and ABDESIGNS. For today's tutorial, I went with something a little easier in the design element, I guess you could say, after the Mother's Day series and then graduation for my son and all the things family visiting. I really didn't have a ton of time, so I didn't really have anything specific planned, and sometimes when I'm not feeling inspired or I just don't have an idea, what I will do is I will pull out all of my cases of vinyl and I will just go through it and pull out things from all the different companies, all the different places, and just whatever inspires me in that moment, I will pull it out. Well, I started to notice a pattern when I was doing this, and I was pulling out a lot of things in black and white, but then I was instantly drawn to this black and white with the orange flowers. So I decided I would put them all together and do something with those designed vinyls. So when I pulled out a few that I liked, I put them aside and I measured from the top of the tumbler to the bottom, and right above the lip at the bottom, it was about 8 inches. So I just designed on a space that was 8 inches. I knew that I wanted the black and white with the orange flowers to be a much bigger section, so I designed and cut that rectangle out of, or I made it 2 inches tall, and then all of the other elements, I made them about 1.3, I think it was. I calculated it out after I measured, and I cut it on my Silhouette Studio on each design so that I knew for sure each section would be even. This orange stripe that you're seeing here, it is a piece of removable vinyl because I'm going to be doing something a little bit different in that section. So the vinyls that I used are black and white Leopard from KHOBBS Exclusives, and then black and white Roses 04 from ABDESIGNSCO, and then orange black floral A, also from KHOBBS Designs. And what I am doing in this bottom section is I'm going to be using some black foil, so I am marking off those sections just to hold its place. Now, you saw at the very beginning I had a large chunky black and white checkerboard vinyl that was from ABDESIGNSCO, but when I got to working on this, I realized that it would be cutting off so much of the design you wouldn't be able to tell it was a checkerboard. So I'm going in a little bit different direction on that little section, which is the very first orange stripe. So after I had each section of the chunky stripes laid out, I am going to tape off the vinyl on each side of the removable vinyl because we're going to be working on those sections. So I'm just going to go in with the thin painter's tape and tape those edges off. Then I am going to remove that first chunky removable vinyl stripe, and we are going to paint this section white. I am going to just glitter this section, and my first plan was still to go with a checkerboard theme, but I was going to cut it out of vinyl, but then you'll see that I changed my mind. So I'm going to cut off or remove that, and then I am going to remove the bottom section, and we are going to paint that section black. I am using chalk paint for both sections. I am going to paint that on and let it dry, and then for the glitter section, I am going to use some foil glue to adhere that glitter. Don't ask me here what I was thinking, but before I even applied that glitter, I removed the painter's tape. I don't think I was thinking, obviously, but I removed all of the painter's tape, and then once it was dry, I went back and applied new painter's tape so that we could apply the glue and protect all the vinyl. I don't know, my brain was a little out of it this week. I am actually going to work on this foiled bottom black section first. The foil is black, so that's why I decided to go ahead and paint this section black. And because the foil glue is a little bit thick when you apply it, I just dip my paintbrush in the very tip of it in a little bit of water and then kind of pat it off on a paint or a paper towel and then stick it in the jar of glue, and it seems to help smooth it out a little bit. And then I'm going to heat dry it with my heat gun and to help speed up the process because I'm impatient and I can't wait. And then I'm going to just cut a section of this floral foil from Artistic Painting Studio, and I'm going to just apply that by pushing it down on that section and then taking the felt edge of my squeegee and just kind of helping rub it in, kind of burnish it in there to make sure that I get really good coverage, and then peel that back, and it gave it beautiful coverage. Look at those flowers. You can see them like kind of in the background. And then because I had that out and I wanted to speed along this process, I'm going to do the same thing for the white section, and I am using pixie dust from Diamonds and Dust, and I'm going to apply that foil glue, let it dry or dry it with my heat gun, and then apply that. This glitter is so pretty. It's an extra fine glitter. It's really good if you use it as like a epoxy additive as well. It gives it such beautiful shimmer, but I wanted to just use it in this section. I didn't want anything super chunky, so this was the perfect glitter for that. After that, I am going to remove the painter's tape yet again, and then give it a coat of Rust-Oleum's Clear Glassy Spray Paint, and then give it 2 coats of epoxy, and then I'm going to give it a really good sanding after that second coat. When I was going through my little decal drawer, I noticed that I had some of these black and white or black on clear swirls left from when I did the 40 ounce with the foil tumbler. I'll leave that link down in the bottom, but I thought this would be so pretty with this design instead of the black and white checkered. So I decided to just take some of the sections and add them to this white section and then trim off where it overhangs, and it kind of went with the whole floral theme. Even though the top vinyl is a leopard print, it kind of still had that swirly florally feel just like the rest of the vinyl, so I felt like this design went with the overall look of the tumbler a little bit better. I just pieced them all together like I was playing a game of Tetris and cut some pieces apart and just made it look like it flowed naturally together, and it was just all one piece with this design originally. I don't think I mentioned this, but these black swirls on the clear sheet are from ABDESIGNSCO, and then the tumbler is from the Tumbler Supply Store. And like I always say at the end of all of my videos, down in the description box, there's always a list of the companies that I am an affiliate for and the discount code that you can use to save a few dollars. I know that everybody's money is so valuable these days, so saving a few bucks definitely helps. But I hope that you know that the products that I use, I shopped with all of these companies before I became an affiliate for any of them, so they are genuinely products and companies that I love and value and used way before. Just being an affiliate is an added bonus because then I can offer you a discount to help you save on the products that you love as well. After I had that white stripe completed, I just trimmed off where that white ended and peeled off all of the overhang, and it looked like it was one seamless piece. You'd never know that I pieced it all together like I did. After that, I'm going to go right into striping in between each of the larger stripes. And I went back and forth with the design that I wanted or the colors that I wanted. And I decided I was going to go with a black background on the sides of the colorful vinyl. So I laid down a black stripe, and then I had already had a sheet of these orange glitter stripes cut, and it was like a perfect match. It is the glitter one from Hobby Lobby, so I was very careful not to stretch it out or anything because this one does rip if you stretch it too hard. So it was a very close fit, but it was like they were meant to be with the black background and the orange top stripe. And then I tried the different combination of black on white and white on black for the other stripes, and I decided that I liked the white on the bottom and then a thin black stripe on the top. So that is what I did on the other in between sections. While you're watching me stripe out these other sections, I wanted to let you know that just like I did the week-long Mother's Day series, I am going to do another dad-inspired series like I did last year. So I am working on those for the week prior to Father's Day, and I'm so excited. I really do like doing non-glitter tumblers sometimes because it really pushes my brain out of the box sometimes to come up with a design that's all not glitter. So I am excited and I can't wait for you guys to watch that. This reason why right here is why I love having a drawer full of pre-cut stripes, because I did not have to cut a single stripe for any of this design. I had all of these stripes and all of these colors already cut, and it was so nice to just pull them all out and have them all fit together. After that, I gave it another coat of epoxy, and then I gave it another good sand, and then we're going to finish off this bottom. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, so I kept putting it off. So I decided I wasn't going to do it orange like I originally planned. I really wanted to keep that right in that section. So I'm just going to tape it off and then paint it white, and then we're gonna use UV resin to add some epoxy, add some glitter on it so that I don't have to wait for epoxy to dry or wait for glitter glue to dry. I could let it cure in the sun because it's been beautiful here lately, and so I just painted it on with some chalk paint, then let that dry, added some UV resin, just used my finger, sometimes the best paintbrush, swirled that around, covered every section, and then we're using pixie dust again, just like on the other section. And then I removed that painter's tape and then just set it outside on my patio table for about 5-10 minutes, and it was all cured and ready to move on. And then y'all know who've been watching me for a while, sometimes it's really hard for me to leave a tumbler with no words or sayings or anything. Sometimes I just feel like it needs that something to finish it off. So the quote or saying that was coming to my mind, because everything was in black and white except for that section with the orange flowers, was live your life in full color. And I just thought it was a perfect fit for this tumbler. So I cut it out of the the orange glitter vinyl, also from Hobby Lobby, that I used for those striping lines. And I kind of decided, I wasn't sure where I wanted to put it, but it felt right to just be on this bottom section. So I applied that very carefully with a new piece of transfer tape. This transfer tape is amazing, and it really did work with this glitter vinyl really well. So that's good to know if you have trouble with this glitter vinyl and your transfer tape. And then I gave it 2 final coats of epoxy, and this beauty was all done. It is so hard to take pictures in a bright sunny day sometimes because I get nothing but reflections and glare no matter where in my room I take these pictures. But it is absolutely beautiful. I am so happy with the way this one turned out. And it's just a reminder to myself, sometimes it doesn't have to be complicated or have a million steps to turn out beautiful, because this one was fairly simple and turned out wonderful. So as usual, all of the information will be down in that description box, and I will see you next week with another tutorial. Bye y'all.